Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker. And if you guys didn't watch Thursday's video, I sat down to edit today, Thursday, and found out the audio from the 3.5 hours worth of content I would batch filmed on Tuesday was corrupted. So it is Thursday and I'm refilming intros and outros for today's video. I am absolutely roasting. I have run up and down the stairs about 15 times. The day is just gotten a lot warmer than it was, and I was wearing a sweater earlier, so bear with me through this. So this is the final week. This is days 29 through 35 of the 30 days of use as much, 35 days of use as much yarn as I possibly can challenge. And we have crossed the finish line. Everything is done. So this video is just for the vlogs that I filmed and chit-chatted with you guys, generally in the morning, every day throughout the challenge. If you have more questions or want to know about yarns, counts, recipes for the things I cranked, all of that's in show and tell 241 through 244. Yes, 244. So go check out those videos. I will be honest, 244 is the one I just refilmed. So it's a little harried and it's a little all over the place. And we did a very quick run through everything. At the end of the vlog, I will have pictures of all the makes from this week. We have some fun and interesting and different makes from just doing the hats and scarves, but it is still tube knitting. I did not have time to sit down and figure out the increasing and decreasing I wanted to do for a sweater. All that having been said, I hope you guys enjoy the vlogs, and I will see you guys in just a minute. Happy day 29, you guys. So it's a little bit later this morning, thankfully. It is 6:15 in the morning instead of 4:30 in the morning. But I got some cranking done yesterday. We have some stuff in here. But to be honest, I don't know how today's gonna go. I'm gonna try. I pulled Heartland out of my stash, and we're going to give this a go. I went through like 6 different things yesterday, and like I said, I'm just annoyed. I'm very, very annoyed. I am also going to film show and tell in the intro to this vlog series today, but I probably will edit tomorrow or Thursday, just depending on how the day goes. But I'm just, I'm frustrated. I'm very, very frustrated. I am going to go ahead and try to spin off the roll with it as well. But I reached out to 2 of my friends, Erica here on YouTube, the Lopsided Crafter. I'll leave her tagged, hopefully, in the description box down below. Go check her out. And I texted another friend of mine that's not out on social media that also does a bunch of Addy knitting, and was telling them about the problems that I'm having with this machine and the way it's slipping and skipping, and it's just too new for that to be happening. And you know, we're trying to figure out like what could be the possible cause, like what could cause that to happen on a new machine, even using lightweight yarn. Because like yesterday, I had a scarf that I got 300 rows into, and it started skipping. And I was going to push through just to kind of show an example of what I'm talking about. I want y'all to see this. Like, number one, this is what it looks like from the outside. But from the inside of this tube, look at that. That's what it's doing. And that's why it's slowed down so much trying to knit on this machine. And it's like everything else was perfect. Perfect stitches. And then that started. So Banner has already pre-joined us up here. He knows what time it is. So yeah, like I said, I've processed the return. I need to probably stop just kvetching about it. I've already processed it for the returning of this machine. I have a new machine on the way. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. So what I might do is just go ahead. We'll have a week 5. So we'll call everything I did up until yesterday, week 4. And then we'll do a week 5 video. But I just, I don't know what to make of it. And the way everything is downstairs right now with the cats and the way they're acting and the way my schedule is, where we have some moments that are okay and then all of a sudden like everything needs to be done. Also, get a big kitten stretch. Get a big booner stretch. He does not like it when I film. He loves being sung to and talked to, but he does not like just listening to me talk. But yeah, I'm gonna stop kvetching about it. The new machine will be here tomorrow. We will get that set up. I still need to replace the parts on the old machine. I do have the new handle as well as the inner gold ring that I ordered from Maker's Mercantile. So I need to just fix the old machine, but my old machine did not start skipping until I'd put 100,000 grams through it. This one has had around 10,000 grams go through it, but it's been fighting it every step of the way. And it also is doing a weird thing where I'll get the waist yarn on there, and then as soon as I start knitting, like somewhere between hook or needle 10 and 20, it just starts dropping stitches. And it I don't know. I really don't know. I spent yesterday just absolutely fit to be tied. So anyway, I am going to try to do some cranking this morning before Troy leaves for work. When Troy leaves for work, I will curl my hair and put on some makeup. I'm already dressed. And I'm going to film the show and tell, as well as, like I said, the intro and outro to this video. So I'll just put this up for Saturday, which means either today, tomorrow, or Thursday, I'm going to spend an entire day editing. So that'll make sense to have another, we'll just do the addendum days. I've gone back and forth on it this whole time because a 30-day challenge is a very long challenge, and you don't really realize how long it is until you do a 30-day challenge. But that's what I'll do, and that'll just make it easier, and we'll recoup all the days lost from not having an Addy, the time lost from an Addy that doesn't want to work properly, and we'll go from there. But I do have to say, I have a couple ball bands in the white bin, but we have an uber ton of ball bands in here. So by the time this video comes out, y'all will actually know what's going on, because this will be the first video of week 5. So y'all will know how many are in here. I had actually wanted to hit 50 ball bands. So anywho, I love you guys. Let's get cranking. Well, happy day 30, you guys. So after editing the video that, by the time you're seeing this, it was last week's video, but there were a lot of clips where, because I was filming at 4 o'clock in the morning, I felt like I needed to be extra quiet. I'm going to try to make sure to speak up enough to where you can hear me, but not so much I wake up anybody downstairs. So let's see out the window. It is almost 5 a.m. Yesterday I filmed and edited and uploaded content. So I finished what was on the Addy, And I started a scarf using the Heartland in purple and black. Or maybe I knitted the hat and now I'm working on the scarf. I'll have to check the basket. I took the bin downstairs yesterday. I wove in the ends on 6 out of the 7 hats that were remaining from last week. So, it's time to get cranking. I really want to test out the idea of the shawl that I saw. And I think I'm going to do 3 panels, 350 rows. I'll put them together, and then I can do a border around them like I do my blankets. So I pulled 5 balls of Candy Shop, which should be enough to do 2 panels. I have a purple and pink one that I could do the 3rd panel with, and it's more just to see whether or not this works. And if it does work, I've got a couple of yarns that are definitely set aside for shawls to donate. That's not really like the big, super push right now. But as we get further into winter, I have a feeling the Personal Ministry is going to go through more shawls. So it doesn't hurt to be testing that out. But that's not like my main focus. I did not mean for the 30-day challenge to become nothing but hat and scarf donations on the Addy. My original intent had been to do the 50 hats and scarves I wanted to donate or finish getting those ready to go. And then moving on to like some of the things like granny squares and stuff. But clearly that's not how this worked out, which is a good thing. Because when I started this 30-day challenge, I didn't know that the mountains of North Carolina and Tennessee were going to get flooded, and so many people were going to be left homeless coming into the winter season. So this has been good. I talked to my friend who is distributing the hats and scarves locally, and I told her the first 50 sets here will go to her because the homeless underhoused charity specifically wants hat and scarf sets. We have another organization that has also requested hats and scarves, but they don't care, if they're sets. They just need hats and scarves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those first 50 sets, give them to her to distribute. And once she... Good morning, Mr. Bonono. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but his mew is just like the cutest thing ever. Once she has those, she can decide which charity gets what sets locally. I also reached out to my aunt in Asheville, and their church is a community donation spot. It's now been 2.5 weeks, and they still don't have water there, but they are a community donation spot in Asheville. I know a couple of you guys have mentioned churches only help their own. That might be true for some churches. However, the Catholic charities as well as the Anglican charities are community outreach charities. They're not church affiliated recipients. They're community recipients. So her church is a community donation spot for the region. So it's not just, they have the facilities to be able to bring in massive amounts of things for the community. So I did talk to her. I told her at the end of the month, I'm going to send a box up to her with anything remaining that I get done. So at the end of October, I'll be sending a big box to Asheville for the community outreach in Asheville. And then we'll have the 50 hats and scarves that will stay here in Richland County. So I didn't really mean for this to become, all donation hats and scarves. This wasn't like a tooting my own horn thing, but I did have the goal of the 50 hats and scarves. So I did want to kind of get those knocked out, finish doing those. But I also didn't expect when I started the 30-day challenge to have such a need in our area for hats and scarves. So I have a lot of family up in the mountains. I've got a lot of friends in Asheville, Black Mountain, Banner Elk, a couple friends that are in the greater Lenoir area. And, you know, once again, the area, it's all Greenville West that got, you know, hit so hard. So there are areas, you know, here in the state where, you know, there's a huge need. So anyway, so I'm going to finish this set. Then I've got blue still in here. So I'll do a set with the blue and black. Then I'll probably do the set with the Roll With It melange that I was telling you guys about. And then I'm going to probably test the Candy Shop. The new Addy, replacement Addy for the new Addy is supposed to be here today. I don't know what time that's going to get here. So starting at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, I'm not going to be able to crank anything. We have plans for this evening. So I probably only have like an hour and a half, 2 hours this morning that I'll be able to crank things. And then I might have another hour or two after lunch where I'll have time to crank things. But I'm going to get as much done as I can today since I really didn't do anything Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. So thank you guys for bearing with me. I hope you're having a wonderful, fantastic day, and I will check in with you guys here in a little bit. Hey guys, so we're still on day 30 here. It's almost 3 o'clock. Well, it's 2:15. So I've got only a few more minutes to be able to knit, so I'm going to have to like be quick with this. But I want to say this is the new Addy machine. The new Addy machine. And it is in an outer packaging box in the shipping box. The ones I've had to return all came with the Addy box in the Amazon box with some paper shoved around them. The one that I kept, my old machine that it's died a natural death and I need to replace the gears on, it came in a cardboard box like this. So I think the reason why the machines I've had to return are that way, because I think they are returns. I think they are returns that have been sent back to the warehouse. Somebody said they weren't used or something, and they're sending them out as new machines. So I'm going to mention this in the Addy review as well, because for me, the most economical place to purchase this machine is Amazon. I'm going to mention this as a comment in that video as well, but I don't know how many of you guys who are watching this series are going to go and seek out my Addy full thoughts on dealing with the Addy machine and stuff. I don't know how many of y'all are going to go seek out that video, but I do want to let you know this is what you're looking for. I think tomorrow I will crack this open hopefully, and we will see how this machine works. But I think this is the problem. I think they're sending out used machines that somebody else has broken or jammed or tried to put, super heavy yarn through. I think they're sending those out as new machines potentially. Or they're just getting it damaged in shipping because they're not packaged in this packaging. So anyway, we'll see how this works, and we'll see if it is a difference. Good day 31, you guys. So Yesterday was a bit of an adventure in here. I did make 2 tubes out of the candy shop. Ironically, with the old new Addy, and we had 0 tucking for the first 2 tubes. So if you were thinking about spinning candy shop and making a shawl, we'll see how this turns out. I did 325 rows in the tube, and I'll put them together like I did in my blanket tutorial. But it took almost 2 complete cakes to do the 325 rows. So I only had 5 in the very berry, so I did have to pull 2 similar colors, which, you know, it's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. So these will be combined to make a shawl. That's what I'm thinking right now, at least. I do have more of this color. So if I get this downstairs, the tube downstairs, and I don't like the way these look alternated, I can make some tubes, 2 more tubes out of that color. I have some other yarn that I kind of want to try, but, you know, it's too cold outside. So it's in the 30s this morning. So even though I turned Cat TV on downstairs for them and the door was open, they both decided, okay, we're going to go upstairs. So everybody's hanging out with mommy now. Yeah, so I'll see once I get this tube off. I think I'm at like row 150 or something. Oh, it's not gonna. Yeah, 151. I'll take it downstairs and see whether or not I like those together. And that'll just be a decision I make on the fly. If I don't like them together, I can do ear warmers with the other cake of very berry. And because I think I can get, I won't quite have enough for 180, but I can easily kind of slip an extra color in there you'd never notice. Anyway, I do have a couple other things I want to try. Pippin, stop that. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's where my brain is on that. I have some green Red Heart Soft I want to run through and make some hats and scarves with, or a hat and scarf set with. I also have some Vanna's Choice that I was thinking of maybe trying something more similar to the tutorial I saw. Hopefully I will have that in show and tell number 244, a link for that. But yeah, that's where I am. I haven't brought in any more other colors. I did spend the Red Heart Melange. The 2 cakes of that were just enough to do a hat and scarf, so I did not need to use the ball of the off-white that I had pulled, or tan that I had pulled. So things that really, really have gone through the machine very well that were new for me. The Ice Yarns favorite went through like butter. Heartland went through like butter. The candy shop, oddly enough, if you have some of that in your deep stash, that also went through amazingly well. So even on the picky machine, I still have to go slow, but even on the picky machine, that went through like butter. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's what's going on. So I am going to go pick some yarn and decide what I'm going to do. Hello. So it is day 32. I am trying to get started for my day. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but it's just after 5 a.m. So I took the shawl tube down. I did not like the way it looked with the other two. So I am going to go ahead and crank out these 4 cakes. I did want to go ahead and try this Premier Basics. It seems to be very thin, so maybe that'll go through the machine. But today I have some adulting to do. I have to go run errands, which means I have to leave my house. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing today, but hopefully I will get a little extra cranking in. Like I said, these addendum days are kind of convenience of upload, as well as like kind of makeup days for the days I didn't do anything. I couldn't use my machine, things like that. And also I have stuff to crank. Yeah, so that is what I am planning on right now. I did do some finishing work yesterday. I have a bunch of scarves that are ends woven in and everything else. I had to reclaim some of my waste yarn there, so. But I still have a stack of hats and scarves and stuff to finish off, which will be what I work on tonight after dinner. So that is where we are. That is what is going on. I don't think, touched anything out of the neutral spin that's pulled for this. I did take all my already partial skeins of neutrals. Hello, Mr. Banner. And toss them in here. I did finally figure out what these were. These were set up to be an advent calendar. I was going to do corner to corner squares out of them, I think. So I might stick those in bags and use it as an advent this year. So anyway, that is where my brain is. That is what is going on. I have a feeling that my little choo-choo is going to need some scritches. So I'm going to do that and get to cranking. Happy day 33. So it is Saturday morning. Y'all are going to see last week here in a few hours. It's 3:45. So I was up at 3 a.m. again. But the whole household's up. So I can make as much noise this morning as I would like, as long as I'm not being obnoxious. Yesterday I finished the 2 tubes of the Candy Shop and Tootsie, or 2 tubes, 4 cakes, Candy Shop and Tootsie Roll. This project with the shawl in the Candy Shop is going to be unbelievable. So I am going to crank another set of shawl tubes out of these Karen cakes here, because I want to see how it feels in the Karen cakes. And I may also I have some Vanna's Choice in there that I had specifically set aside to do donation shawls. So I might crank out some of those tubes. Let me see. I have 55 hats and scarf sets up here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have at least another 5 downstairs, which puts me 10 over my goal to donate. So we'll have 10 to Asheville. Actually, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll have 15 to Asheville, because these guys all have hats here. Plus I had some scraps that were just enough to combine to make hats, just hats. So I have like another 5 hats downstairs, plus the 2 ear warmers. So we'll have like 15 hat and scarf sets to Asheville, 10 hat and scarf sets to Asheville, something like that, 15 to 20. Plus the ear warmers and hats on their own. I don't want to say there's not a need for more, but this wasn't supposed to be a challenge of just making hat and scarves. So while I'll probably still make a couple of hats and scarves between today, tomorrow, and Monday, I would kind of like to play with some of the other stuff, like making tubes in the Red Heart Soft for a blanket for one of my daughter-in-laws or my granddaughter next year. I would like to play some more with this idea of the 3-panel shawl. I will say with the Candy Shop, I've got the first 2 in the Tootsie together, and 2 panels wide is enough for a shawl. It's long enough for a wrap, but I do kind of want to see this like blanket wrap style, which is the 3 panels. So even I might want something that's just kind of like wrapping up in a blanket. So I might actually keep this one or the Tootsie one. With the shawls, they're going to ladies at the church who are infirm, having surgery, bereavement, and we've also taken some to the VA nursing home. So generally those things tend to be slightly better cared for, and they do accept, so depending on where we're sending them or gifting them, wool content is okay. So I could do something like the carrying cakes with a wool content to donate in shawls, but I can't use those to donate with the hats and scarves to most places. So I might start switching gears a little bit and doing some other type of projects over the next 3 days and not just focusing on the hats and scarves, which really wasn't supposed to be the purpose, but ended up becoming what happened here. And that's, that's part of why I'm glad I did this as a vlog, is you're seeing the real-time changes to the plan, the real process that I use when I'm making a bunch of stuff or sit down to make a bunch of stuff. It's too cold for the kittens again this morning. It's like 41 degrees this morning. So they already came back inside. But, the entire plan shifted. And, that's perfectly fine. It's a reasonable thing to have happen. But I'm glad that we were doing this as a, kind of daily check-in, so you can kind of see where my day was supposed to go. Like yesterday, about 9, between 8 and 9 yesterday morning, my stepson texted, and one of my stepsons texted, we were going to go, he wanted to see if I wanted to go costume shopping for the kids for their Halloween costumes, which I'm not going to turn down. So I got to spend time with him and his family. And then we all went out for lunch and had a really good afternoon. I'm going to take that time with my family. So I got 2 tubes cranked and only used 4 cakes of yarn. To me, that's still a successful day. Plus I still had to go to the grocery store and the post office yesterday. So need to check that P.O. box. But I'm glad I did this as a daily thing. That way you can kind of see, like, there are very successful days when it comes to like my crafting. But there are days where, life happens and we need to just enjoy life sometimes. But I was able to kind of clear most of the last 30 days out to do this challenge. So the way I've done this is not necessarily how most other people would do this challenge. I was I kind of had been trying to plan to do this, and this just happened to be the best time to do it, but I'd kind of cleared my schedule for a month, so all of my time could be spent doing this. By doing the extra week, I did lose my ability to do the Halloween make-along with my Hypnotic Yarn Haunted Hues sock set, which I'll just save for the Spook Your Spring make-along in May. But, it's also been kind of, it's a challenge to use yarn. It's been a challenge to make hats and scarves to donate. It's become an adventure for me to see, like, if I really just, this is what I'm doing, what can I accomplish? And I'll be honest, I mean, this has been fun. It's been different, but it's not something I can do as a lifestyle. But I am excited. I've gotten some really good ideas and feedback on what type of make-alongs y'all would like to do, and focusing on using stash. So I am going to work on creating the list. I had originally thought maybe we'll do this as an every other month thing, but you guys gave me enough good ideas. I think we have 10 stash focused ideas already. And then we also have the Spook Your Spring Make Along, which takes up an entire month. So there's some really good ideas floating around. So I hope y'all will join me in 2025 for the make alongs and using using our stashes, using our yarn, and really kind of holistically focusing on what we have already that we can use to create, you know, beautiful things. So anyway, I'm going to get to cranking. I do want to pull one more set of yarn to maybe focus on today. We've got a football game at noon. So if I kill my screwdrivers now, they'll be charged by noon. And our team has not been playing very well this season. So I might come back up here and do some cranking. But anyway, I look forward to seeing y'all real soon. I love you guys. Well, happy day 34. This is the next to the last day that we will have for the vlogs here. I don't intend to stop making hats and scarves, but I do intend to start working on some other things. So yesterday I got a couple of tubes cranked for one of the Christmas blankets for next year. I got half of them done yesterday, I believe. I left the house for most of the morning. I think we left out around 7:30 yesterday morning, and we didn't get home till after 12. We ran some errands, had some breakfast out, came home. I took a little bit of a nap because getting up at 3 a.m. and going to bed, you know, falling asleep between 9 and 10 kind of wears on you after a while. So I took like a 30-minute nap. Did some cleaning downstairs, made dinner, all that kind of stuff. I got 2 more tubes cranked yesterday afternoon and worked on some finishing work last night. So that's kind of how the day played out yesterday. I went into the yarn room though and pulled some potential hats and scarves out. The Karen cake did not go through the old new machine, and I have not put the new machine up yet, just because the superfine yarns have been going through it. So I'm gonna leave the Karen cakes in here for now, and I guess Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, I'll put the new machine up. I'm gonna return the old new machine. It's so confusing, but that's kind of where my brain is right now. As you can tell from my waste yarn there, I have not reclaimed the waste yarn out of a lot of the pieces I've cranked this week, or the last half of this week. So most of today will probably actually be finishing work. I have like 12 hats downstairs, I think. I have the 4 blanket tubes and like 2 scarves to finish. So I'll spend most of the day doing that, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning again. Oh, well, 3:30. So I've got until 5:30, and then I need to start getting ready to head out this morning. So I did pull some yarn. I pulled 4 different colors of the worsted weight Knit Picks Brava here. I have 2 dye lots of this. The other dye lot I have 6 balls of it. The Maisie color is nice, but what I bought it for, I've already used it. So that is actually leftovers from another project. The emerald green and the navy blue were bought for donation items. So when Knit Picks does their big annual sale, sometimes you can get the Brava for $1 a ball. And that's what I had done with that. I did also pull the Sapphire Fanta's Choice out. So those will be the next hats and scarves. Potentially over the next few days I can finish all of that. But my goal for next year, but Nunu once again needs to oversee. So we have the banner supervisor making sure everything's of good quality and ready to go. Over the next 12 months, my goal is to do 5 sets a month. That way we have, If I set the goal of 5 sets a month, we will end up with 50 by this time next year. So that's kind of like November's hats if I don't get them done now. But I do need to move to making our Christmas cards. I haven't touched those since I started them, in September, beginning of September. And I have some other knit and crochet projects, hand knit and crochet projects I really want to work on. Because I still have Project UFO going on, and I've only completed one UFO in the last 3 months. So I'm going to probably move those into this Drona bin for the IKEA storage system. And that's where they'll hang out until I crank them off. But those are going to be the next 5 hats and scarves, regardless of if they get done as part of the 30-day challenge addendum here or they move into November's projects. But I would like to have 50 hat and scarf sets again next year. So if I just kind of grab things like this and do 5 a month, plus I'm liking how that shawl is looking. So I do have some other yarns that I can put together for shawls, and I think that would be kind of cool. So that's kind of where my brain is thinking on what the next, say maybe 6 months are going to start looking like. So I am going to grab some hand cream and moisturize my fingies, and I'm going to get to cranking while I need to be quiet for the next hour and a half. So I will see you guys shortly. Okay, dokie, you guys. It is the last day of the 30-day challenge. It's day 35. Yeah, but yesterday I got 1.5 tubes cranked. I spent the rest of the day finishing hats and scarves, and I started closing some tubes. Somebody had us up at 3 a.m. again. And of course, he's like, I'm just going to go back to bed. It's no big deal. This one was not ready to get up yet. So he is in the bed like, no, we're not. We're not doing this. I am going to work on the blanket tubes. And then I have the yarns that I pulled out to do hats and scarves with. So we'll see what I get done today. But this is the end of the 30-day challenge. I need to get to making Christmas cards. So those are ready to send out. I also want to revisit my Project UFO stuff. I've got to get the house ready for company at the end of the month, because we'll do family Halloween here. And I've got to make sure everything's toddler-proofed downstairs. And I've got to get all that. We finally have all of our Halloween treats to hand out. So I've got a bunch of stuff to do over the next 2 weeks. I've also got a haircut tomorrow. So it shall be busy. It will be very busy. But I'm going to see what I can get done today, cranking. I'll start pulling together all my notes from my final wrap-up and everything, which will come out as of y'all seeing this sometime next week. I don't know if it'll be Tuesday or Saturday. This week, I don't know that I'm going to have a Tuesday video, but I might. I don't know. It's too early in my brain to know what side's up and down right now, but I am going to get to working, see what we can do. We're definitely not going to have 50 ball bands, I don't think, this week, but I can try. Okie dokie artichoke. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning. Most mornings, there was a lot going on. Right now, in that room, there is one IKEA Drona bin of next month's hats and scarves. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 hat and scarf sets every month. And if I set that as my goal, I should end up with at least 50 by the time next year rolls around. It's time to do donation drop-offs. So I do have stuff set aside for hats and scarves for next year's donations. And I do have my half bin of neutrals over there. But we went from 3 giant totes with lids down to a half full tote and a 13 by 13 cube. So I'm very pleased with myself. And I just took that over there yesterday. It's not like it was left over. I used everything that was in the original thing, except for what I could not get to go through the old machine or the old new machine. So I've been hand crocheting and knitting the Impeccable and the Super Saver I had left over. Next year, we're going to have tons of scrap projects to work on. As I said, I'm taking all those butterfly tails left over and doing single round grannies out of those. So come back, because there will be more that filters off of this project. So for the next year, we will have callbacks to this last 35 days. But thank you guys so much. Let me know. Yeah, I said it right this time. Down in the comments section what you guys were working on. What did you guys accomplish? So many of you guys said you decided to join me and play along. So you guys are on week 4 right now. What have you gotten done? Where are you? What kind of progress did you make? Let me know. And also, like, what are your plans? I love you guys. I hope you are having a wonderful, fantastic day. As always, I look forward to seeing you real soon. Please take care of yourselves. Bye, you guys.